So keep walking. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm just excellent. I like these nice balmy days to take a walk in. Here
Well,
in,
you're certainly dressed warmly for a balmy day.
what's that?
You're dressed very warmly for a balmy day.
Yeah, but this is quite a nice place to take a walk here in the park in Nichols Hills on a Sunday afternoon. And
Now, these trees look funny to me. What's that about?
well, they each are carrying a heavy load of ice.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we've seen a lot of trees that have been damaged already. And if the wind were to get up, why they'll get a lot more damage. And if we get any more rain, every time it comes a little bit of rain, it means more ice, and that means more tree damage.
Yes. So, what did you do last evening?
What's that?
What did you do last night?
Last night, well, I did something I've never done before. I have never on purpose decided to start watching a basketball game at 10:30. Generally, I've been asleep a couple hours at 10:30, but I stayed up, and by the time I finally got to bed this morning, after I watched that basketball game, OSU versus University of Colorado, playing in, I believe, in Las Vegas. The Cowboys finally won it, but it wasn't over until it was over.
And what time was it over, Dad?
Well, it was over about 2 a.m.
2 a.m.?
By the time I did all my chores and got to bed, it was about 3 a.m. And then I thought I'd read a little while, and I don't know, it's probably 3:30 when I gave it up, and then I was so wide awake I couldn't go to sleep, and that's why it took me a long time this morning to finally wake up and get up and get to business.
Well, I thought you were the one that said that nothing good ever happens after midnight.
What's that now?
I thought you were the guy that said nothing good ever happens after midnight.
Well, once in a while I'm mistaken, very rarely. But very little good does happen. But last night, why, that was some good when we could beat the University of Colorado up at Las Vegas. I'm going to be anxious to talk to Dale when he arrives here later on, because the first time he ever saw an OSU versus University of Colorado basketball game was up at the University of Colorado one night after Mr. Ivy. They invited Dale, first of all, Dale was up there with his father and his grandfather, and Mr. Ivy invited all of us to ride up to Boulder on the team bus, which we did. Dale thought that was a good idea. And then Mr. Iba actually asked Dale to sit on the bench with him and help him coach the ball club that night.
Well, did he do a good job?
Well, I honestly can't remember who won that game. It was very close, I remember. But Dale Lemon thought that he played a key role in helping Mr. Iba coach that night.
Okay, now in a minute we're probably going to have to turn around, but before we do, will you just stop just a second and tell us what date it is and what the significance of this day is?
Well, it's Sunday, the 22nd day of December, and it is also the anniversary date of Mary Lou's death.
And what are we doing in honor of her?
We have a musicale, and you're the director of it, and we'll about 5 o'clock this evening. We'll sing some songs to try to put a little joy into a very sad occasion.
Will we perhaps drink any wine?
Well, we might have to. I very rarely do anything like that, but on occasions when I'm with some friends, and this evening I'll be with some friends, and so I might just try a little bit of the fruit of the vine.